This is the second in the series of 3 Kenosha Velosport crits, category 1, 2, 3. So last week we won the race, and I was able to come away with my first win in the category 1, 2, 3 races. Actually, I believe my first win in a 3s race at all. So you can already see that the field was a little bit bigger, but we also had some surprise guests. Those of you guys from around the Midwest area probably know the Intelligentsia crew. A bunch of them showed up, so a lot of Cat 1, Cat 2 guys, and a few other pretty fast riders. So when I saw them all show up, my confidence dropped a little bit because I knew that this race was going to be a whole lot more difficult than the week previous. But I didn't let that get me down. I still thought maybe I could try something and get something going. So I tried to stay towards the front. You'll see here that the pace starts to pick up again as we move around this corner. Again, the wind was pretty similar to how it was last week. Pretty strong headwind into the finishing straight and a pretty strong tailwind here. So I thought maybe I would test my legs out. I was feeling good, and right away, so that we're not even halfway into the first lap, I just decided to throw off an attack. And I do get a little bit of a gap. You can kind of see me look back, and I notice that 1 or 2 guys come with me. And when I looked back, it looked like the pack was still with me, so I sat up a bit. And there's an immediate counterattack, which I wasn't really feeling, so I just kind of let it go. We do end up catching that guy, and there was a bunch more attacks, and you can kind of see that there's a few more guys off the front here. So eventually I just decide to grab onto this guy's wheel. And there's the first guy that attacked, so we reel him in. And I think, hey, maybe this is the attack that's going to stick. Those 2 guys in front of me I know are strong riders, so I'm really going to try and bridge up and get onto the Intelligentsia guy's wheel. I believe that's Carlos. But I start to get up there, and you'll notice that the Intelligentsia rider isn't really taking a pull. He's just kind of sitting on the first guy's wheel. And kind of gives me a feeling like this is not going to succeed. Nothing's going to happen here. They don't want a break to form yet. And I really get that feeling when the first rider kind of tries to pull off and the Intelligentsia guy doesn't pull through. So at this point I see that, and you'll see me just kind of sit up a little bit. I don't completely ease off because I'm not sure what's going to happen, but when I see that the Intelligentsia rider is not coming through, I look back. I see that we're not really off the front of the group all that much, and I sit up. So there's a couple more bridge attempts, and we do end up catching them, and I just decide to get in the pack and save my energy because I was starting to feel those first couple attacks. You can see by the flags there that the wind is pretty strong. Honestly, I kind of feel like it was stronger than the week previous, but you can see we're pretty spread out here. The pace is decently high, but we do end up coming all back together. With the group all back together here, the pace is slowed down a little bit. We're coming into the headwind, and the effort level raises a little bit, and the whole group just kind of starts snaking left and right, trying to put people in the wind. What ends up happening, though, is somebody catches a wheel and the rider goes down. He was okay. He got back in the next lap. The group just kind of continues on, and I just try to grab some wheels and keep going and stay with the main group. There's no breakaway yet. Everybody just kind of relaxes for a minute, which is fine with me. So here, this is my teammate Jose, and he starts to go off the front a little bit, so I just start to sit up. It's really hard to go off the front and into this headwind, but if I can sit up and just let him get some distance, maybe something can happen. But it's shut down pretty quickly. A couple guys just go off and chase him. I'm not going to chase those guys down, again, because my teammate's up there. I don't want to help the rest of the peloton do any work. So those 3 guys just kind of sit out there for a while. And I'm fine with riding here in the gutter and making all the other riders in the group come around me if they do want to bridge up to that. And they're still up there, but a couple bridge attempts start happening. Some guys get on the front, and they start to reel them in here. And so again, I'm just kind of sitting in the group, not really wanting anything to bridge up there. This guy goes, and I notice the Intelligentsia rider go, so I know that it's my job to try and get on that and slow them down. Again, these riders are extremely strong. This is the guy that fell earlier, Jarrett. So I know he's strong as well. So I know that I got to get up there. I got to get on those guys' wheels. I try to hit this corner with pretty decent speed and then just continue to sit in the draft and get up to this break. So I was really just trying to bridge that gap, and I'm really starting to get gassed, and you can see here I shake my head. I didn't have it in me. I'm starting to kind of realize that I don't have the legs that I needed to bridge that, and so they start to get away, and the rest of the group starts to make a concerted effort here, but you can see there's a lot of miscommunication, a lot of unorganized attacks. So here we are bridging up to the first chase group. So it's the chase group and us, and then there's still a breakaway up the road here. You can see Rick here, my teammate, and Aaron. You've seen in other videos with his new team, the Wolf Pack. And we're still kind of just keeping the pace. We know our teammate Jose is still up there in that breakaway, so we're on the front. And we know there's a couple Intelligentsia guys up there too. So this guy on the right, Mike, he's not going to put any efforts in either. This rider attacks here, and I know that we got to shut him down. So I put in a pretty big effort to get to him, and my plan here is to just sit on his wheel, and that's all I do. And it actually stayed this way for about 2.5 laps. Props to this guy because he was a fucking motor. So eventually I pull off here to get the rest of the group to chase this guy, and nobody does. And so he gets away with a pretty decent attack into the wind, and I'm just left kind of sitting there waiting for the rest of the group to come by, and nobody does, so he's just kind of left on his own. Finally somebody goes, and those two get up the road by themselves, but really there's no way that they're going to catch that breakaway group because the breakaway group was so far away. So here's another attack from the Intelligentsia rider. He's going to try to bridge up to those two that we saw just up the road. And I thought maybe I could get up to him. You know, I still felt like I had some legs here, so I do put in a pretty big effort. But I don't end up getting up to him. I get pretty close, as you'll see here in a second, but I just can't close the gap. So like I said, I'm pretty close to his wheel. He's within grasp, but I just don't have it. And so my teammate Rick had jumped on my wheel, and I just tell him to go because I don't have the legs to get up there. So he puts in a pretty big effort, and it sucks that I had to put him in the wind there to chase that down, but I just didn't have anything left in my legs. Here towards the end, Aaron and I kind of decide that we were the two strongest riders in our group, and so we just kind of start putting some attacks in, some really strong pulls, and we go back and forth. I love riding with Aaron. He's an awesome guy. He's always super fun to race against, always makes it a good time, even if we're in the back of the pack. And so, you know, the two other guys that you see on the front there, aside from Aaron and myself, they were taking their pulls, and I just decide, you know what, if I'm out of the contention for the top spots, I'm just going to make this as good a workout as I can. And I just start putting in attacks. Might as well get the practice in here early in the season. So I just start putting in giant attacks and trying to get away. And I do. And this attack actually stayed away for about 3 laps, I believe, till about 2 to go. So again, those 3 other guys, Aaron and the 2 others, kind of catch up to me. They're on my wheel here. You can't really see that, but I decide again that I'm just going to attack again and see if they can come with me. Because if I can drop them and ride solo to whatever place I finish, then that's better practice for me later on in the season. So I attack, and I'm kind of weaving back and forth, trying to make sure that they can't draft off me. I see that we do drop one of the riders. I see Aaron and the other rider pulling alongside me, so I stop attacking and just kind of get on their wheel. This is the last lap. And Aaron has so graciously told me that he was going to give me a lead out. Again, the places at this point don't really matter. We're just racing for fun. And so I just sit on his wheel for the majority of this lap. As we're coming into the finishing straight, Aaron had kind of told me he wasn't sure how much he had left in the tank to give me any kind of lead out. So I start to leave a little space in between my wheel and his, and luckily this rider jumps in between. So that means I have an extra wheel to jump off of for the sprint. This guy in black that you see here is my teammate Jose. He has lapped us with the breakaway. He fell off the main breakaway, but he's still a lap ahead of us. You can see that I'm just kind of sticking on wheels here, trying to stay out of the wind as much as I can. I know that Aaron's strong enough. I know that he's just going to put in a huge effort towards the end of this 200 meters. And he starts to sit up there, and I know that this guy's going to go. So I just try and stay in the draft of this guy as much as I can until about 200 meters. And then I really try to put some more power down, and I managed to come past him. And I can't tell you what place I got because the results really kind of got messed up. I believe it was 13th or 14th or maybe 11th or 12th, somewhere in there. Again, not one that really mattered, but it was a good learning experience. It was fun to race against the Intelligentsia guys. Hopefully we can do something next week.